Right, here we go. Look, scheduled for today at midday is my first A to Z Stadium Challenge. We got quite far yesterday, but today's a new day, so I'll see you very shortly at the next ground. Footy Adventures, we thought you'd be taking us to stadiums today that began with F and went up through the alphabet. That's what we want to see. Well, yes, I am here at Morrison's, but I have been meaning to come to this place for absolutely ages. This turnstile was salvaged from Brockville Park, the home of Falkirk FC, and is placed here in memory of John Jock White, a player with Falkirk FC and Bradford City AFC. It's called the Bradford Link. Bradford City, I was down there recently as well. Oh, look at this. We've got the chairman of Brockville. This must be related to the football, I'm sure. R. Hamilton, R.C. Liddell, G. Chapman, R. War, W. Alexander, and W. Palmer. But this is what I've wanted to come and see for a long time. I've seen a few of these old turnstiles before, and look, I know what you have to do. Oh, they've locked it. They've locked it in place. Usually when you see these things, so you'd have been working on the turnstile, someone would have been coming through, they'd have given you the ticket, and then you'd have stood on this thing and they'd have been able to just unlock it and they'd be able to walk through, unless it's constantly unlocked. No, it isn't. That's really sad. I know it's weird, but this place has been on my bucket list to come for a very, very long time. Look at this thing. This is actually the location of Falkirk's old stadium. This, now Morrison's. Falkirk do now have a much more modern stadium, which I've been to a few times, and we'll be going down there. That will be my F. I'm not going to miss out the F just to see this turnstile. I've been to Huddersfield before just to see the old centre circle plaque outside of a B&Q, or it might have been a Dreams bed store or something like that. It was in a retail park, a little bit similar to this. This is obviously just a Morrison's, but yeah, I love to come and see these little touches of the football history and football past where old stadiums once were. Really sad to see the Morrisons here, but at least they've remembered it with the turnstile over there. Right, I'll see you at the current home of Falkirk very shortly. I'm not going to spend too long here at Falkirk Stadium. I've been here loads of times before, so as ever, just search Footy Adventures and Falkirk, or Footy Adventures, and whatever team you support, and my videos about them should come up. But I just need to touch today's first stadium that starts with the next letter of the alphabet. Like I say, did A, B, C, D and E yesterday, and here we have touched F. So for me, the beauty of these videos where I come ground hopping is not knowing who I'm going to meet and where I'm going to be. But of course, the flip side of that is that sometimes places are completely shut, which is the case here. However, yeah, this stadium has quite a big claim to fame in the Scottish non-league / sort of junior world. Of course, again, I've covered it a lot. For those of you who don't know, the word junior isn't the age of the players. It was a non-league level of football, which has now basically been scrapped, and all these teams are now a part of the sort of wider football pyramid in Scotland, thankfully, in my view. But look, here we are now at this stadium here. I want to say it right, the Warout Stadium, home to Glenrothes. There you go, who start with G. I've touched it. There we go. Glenrothes FC. They have won the Junior Cup before, and they actually have, I think this is one of the, if not the largest stadium of any sort of quote-unquote junior team within Scotland. I think it can house around 5,000 people, and what I saw online was a Scottish Junior Cup quarter-final tie against Cambuslang Rangers had over 5,000 people here. I think that was in the 70s. It was a few decades ago now anyway, but yeah, its big claim to fame is that it has this huge stadium here. Although from here where we are right now, it doesn't look massive, and there's a lot of space around there, maybe more space for people to stand. Of course, we have this stand just here, but yeah, I guess a lot of people would stand around this ground. But look at that, the rural nature of it, with the trees down the back there, absolutely beautiful. I'm gonna have to come back here for a game. I know I say that about everywhere, but I've done a lot of coverage of football in Fife, which is where we are now. Of course, we started this video today in Falkirk. Yesterday we did A, B, C, D, E. Falkirk started us off with F. We are now in Fife for this team here, starting with G. Of course, I've been to Dunfermline and Raith Rovers and Cowden Beath and Kelty Hearts. How could I not have been there? Is there another one? Oh yeah, East Fife. I've been there as well. But we have now, over the last day and a little bit, seen Albion Rovers, Blantyre Vics, Celtic, Drumchapel Amateurs, East Kilbride Thistle, Falkirk, Glenrothes, It's actually brilliant, as I mentioned earlier, to be coming through Fife and to be checking out all these teams that I've not actually seen before, even though I've done so many videos in Fife, more of like the league teams. But here we are now. Look at this, Hill of Beath, Hawthorn FC. Really getting through the alphabet now. Really feel like we've made some progress. But yeah, here we go. Look, you can properly see him if you're a certain height, which for people that know me and have met me, I am not. But if you have a GoPro, you can look over. There's a statue of an extremely famous footballer around here who I don't think played for this club, but was born here, was born in the area. So I think Hill of Beath is the actual sort of town or maybe village that we're in right now. And then Hill of Beath, Hawthorn, is the football club. Doesn't look open, sadly, but really nice looking ground as ever in the local community here. Wow, and you really need to come here to be able to appreciate it, but the hill's up there, and then here is Hill of Beath, Hawthorn FC, the club. But yeah, some absolutely stunning views around here. Even like the drive on the way was absolutely lovely. Like just some of the hills and the views and stuff that you get around here. Really, really nice. There's a legendary statue just up here, which I have been told about numerous times. I did know it existed, but it takes me to come here during the alphabet video for me to actually see these things sometimes. A little bit like the Falkirk turnstile. I've been wanting to see that for so long, and this statue that's just up here as well. And I've got to tick them both off because of this video. I've done a few videos before where I've asked rival fans what they thought about like their biggest rivals, basically. So I've done it with Celtic and Rangers. That's the first time I did it. I asked Celtic fans what they thought about Rangers, and I asked Rangers fans what they thought about Celtic. When I asked a Celtic fan outside of Parkhead who his favourite Rangers player ever was, or I think the question was who is Rangers' best ever player, and that's what I posed to the Celtic fans, and one of the fans said this man here. So yeah, this is Jim Baxter. He is pretty much regarded by a lot of people to being one of the country's greatest ever players. He was born and educated here in Fife, where we are right now. Yeah, he was actually born in Hill of Beath, which is where we are currently. As I say, I don't think he actually played for them. Looking at his history, he played for Beath Juveniles, as well as Crossgates Primrose, before going on to Raith Rovers, Rangers, Sunderland, Vancouver Royal Canadians, Nottingham Forest, and then finishing his career at Rangers as well. He won 34 caps for Scotland and scored 3 goals. So he won 10 trophies for Rangers between 1960 and 1965, and that is where he became known as Slim Jim. People know him as Slim Jim Baxter. That is the name that he has. He does look kind of slim, I suppose, up there in his statue, but yeah, really happy to finally be able to say that I've seen the Slim Jim Baxter statue. If you're a Rangers fan, you have to come here and visit this. There's a lot of statues. There's a John Gregg statue, of course, at Ibrox, and there are other sites that you can visit for legendary people. There's Bill Struth's grave, where I've taken you before. The Rangers Founders Trail guys, they took me to a few graves of old Rangers players and founders and managers and stuff. But if you are a Rangers fan, make sure you come out here to Hill of Beath and Fife, and you'll get to see the legend that is Slim Jim Baxter. Slim Jim was also part of a Scotland squad during the 60s that were incredibly successful. They only lost against England, I think, in about a 6, 7, 10-year period. There was a period of a good few years where Scotland only lost to England, I think. That was in 1966, I think, which was obviously the year that England won the World Cup. And he was a part of that team. And yeah, like I mentioned earlier, he is considered one of Scotland's all-time greats. And what a beautiful place for him to grow up. Of course, it would have changed a lot with a few of these houses, I guess, that have popped up in more recent years. But what a beautiful place for him to grow up, with the hills and of course the stadium here. I'm not sure if this would have possibly been here when he was here. Like I say, he didn't actually play for Hill of Beath Hawthorn, so I think Hill of Beath Hawthorn might have actually been formed a lot later than when he was actually playing himself. So yeah, maybe he hasn't quite played here, but that's H done. We're getting there now. We're getting towards halfway through the alphabet over these last couple of videos. See you in a bit at I. I'm actually pretty lucky in the area that I'm in right now that there are so many teams in alphabetical order from where I went to, with the F of Falkirk, the G, Glenrothes, H, Hill of Beath, and now where I am, I. I've not had to go from Falkirk to Glasgow to somewhere else start with H, to Inverness or anything like that. I've actually got very lucky with sort of where things are located around here, and I think this could be one of the most scenic places I've ever had to come to try and visit a ground. I'm going to try and get in, but the name of this team is just absolutely incredible. It is an amazingly named team, and if this wasn't my A to Z video, I'd probably be naming this video the team with the greatest name in Scotland, maybe? Something like that. But yeah, here we are now. I'm going to try and find a way in, or if we can even just have a quick peek into the pitch or something. But here, let's try around here. Welcome to the greatest named team I think I've ever been to, Inverkeithing Hillfield Swifts Football Club. Yeah, look at that, what a name. Although their badge only says Hillfield Swifts FC, and look, they were founded in 2000. There's not many clubs that I visit in Scotland that were founded so soon to the present day. I mean, usually they're like 1800s or whatever, but look, Inverkeithing Hillfield Swifts. We've got an eye, and yeah, like I say, thankfully we've not had to go up to Inverness Caledonian Thistle. I've got a feeling that's their pitch over there, unless there's one around here. Now this is a boat club. Oh my god, what an area this is. This is absolutely beautiful around here. Here we go, look, here's a boat club just down here with some lovely scenery down there through to the bay and stuff here in Fife. This is incredible, what a day. Right, and so as I thought that was the Inverkeithing Hillfield Swifts FC stadium and stuff in there. It has storage containers, changing rooms, so I guess, and look, meeting room in there, in the kind of little sort of cabins that they have, or old shipping containers, I guess you'd call them. And there's like a place called The Dugout over there, which is painted with the club's badge and stuff. I guess that's where you'll be able to get like your half-time pie and stuff maybe. But just look at this. I mean, if you're a paying fan, I guess you wouldn't have to pay much money. I think Inverkeithing Hillfield Swifts, I love saying that name, I'm just going to keep on saying it. I think this club actually play in the East of Scotland Premier Division. Hang on, can we... This has been smashed up a little bit sadly, but yeah, I think they play in the East of Scotland Premier Division. I've seen a game in that, I think, this season. Linlithgow Rose, Musselburgh, Tranent, Pennycuik, I think they're the sort of biggest teams within the league that this team is currently in. Inverkeithing Hillfield Swifts. God, try and say that 10 times in a row quickly after a few pints of Tennent's. Here we are now on the pitch at Inverkeithing Hillfield Swifts. I'm pretty sure this must be their stadium. I mean, it is pretty spectacular around here. Could you call it a stadium? What's the capacity? How many people usually come here? I guarantee there's some people in the comment. Like, I just uploaded the A to E video this morning, or this afternoon, as I was sort of on the road. I scheduled it for that day. And look, actually, before I tell you that, look, you can actually see the bridges that you come across to come like towards this area of the country. I drove across that bridge earlier. I think it was in the vlog actually. There should be like a little 1-2 second clip of us driving along that bridge earlier. But yeah, I always get people in the comments saying, oh my god, you started off the video next to my grand's house or something like that, or I used to live there, or my school's just around the corner. And I'm sure there'll be people watching this. So to anybody who is from this area, who knows anything about this football team, how many people usually come here? Do you have to pay for a ticket? You could just literally stand in there where that little sort of broken hut was and just watch the game from here. Where would you even buy a ticket? In one of the cabins? Would you buy a pie in there before the game? Would you get a bovril in there? I'm not too sure how it works around here, but the scenery is absolutely stunning, as it was with the last place as well. I absolutely love this. I love visiting clubs, and we've actually got onto the pitch this time, but we've still not met anyone from a club today. I met a couple yesterday, but none so far today. And I was actually a little bit stuck for a team to start with J, because within the professional leagues, I think there's only St Johnstone, which is the only team in Britain with a J in their name when it comes to professional teams. It doesn't even start with J, of course, it's St Johnstone, but it just has a J in its name. But yeah, I was like, how am I going to go to one with J? There's Johnston, who I get requests for all the time. There's a group of lads from that club who always tell me to go there, so I'd be gutted that I'm not going there for this video. It's so far away from where I am now for the eye, and I'm not like filming them in different orders and then patching them together. I'm doing them genuinely in the order that they come. It's not like I've done H and I and then gone back to G. No, I'm doing F, G, H, I, and now I've got to find a J. And thankfully, like I say, in this area, there is one close. This area is brilliant for alphabetical football clubs, it really is. And what I like about the alphabetical theme is that there is no prejudice between like size of club. Yesterday I was at Celtic and at Blantyre Victoria. And today we've been to Falkirk, who are SPFL, and we're now here on a pitch where you could literally just walk on. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I. J. There aren't many teams in the UK that even start with a J, let alone have one in their names. Obviously, I mentioned that St Johnstone are one of the only teams, or professional teams, if not the only professional team. I'm sure the YouTube comment section will put me right if I'm wrong as ever. I think St Johnstone is the only one with J in their name. That's in Perth. Jeanfield Swifts, funnily enough, is in Perth as well. Very Middlesbrough-esque. Excuse me.
Hello.
Hi there. Would I be able to come and look around the stadium at all, just quickly? What have I done to upset the people of Perth? First the dog, or first the lady in the stadium, and then the dog. Yeah, not allowed in. Ah, oh, it's such a shame. We've not had much luck today. I have touched the team that starts with J. It's Jeanfield Swifts. A little bit disappointed I can't get in for a quick look around, but look, a little bit of a community sort of ground, I take it. There is only one place I can go for a team in Scotland that starts with K. In the face of adversity, these hearts won't break. Kind of apt for the way I feel today about every single stadium being shut except from Inverkeithing Hillside Swifts? Hillfield Swifts? I think it was that one. Yeah, they've all been shut except from that one, which seems permanently open. But here we are now at Kelty. I couldn't have done an ABC all the way up to, well, if we can get to Z, I don't know. We've got a couple of spare days ahead of me, so I think I'm gonna keep this going until I literally can't go anymore. But I couldn't do this video and not visit Kelty for K, especially when I'm driving through this area. As I've already mentioned a couple of times in this video, really thankful that there's like an area, a cluster of F all the way through to K here. I'm gonna do L and M today, I think, so I don't know if I'm gonna get to do N, but yeah, if you haven't heard me talk about Kelty somehow, then all you gotta do is search Kelty Hearts on YouTube, and I bet my videos will come up. Or simply just search Footy Adventures and Kelty Hearts and they definitely will come up. But yeah, of course, League 2 champions. I was here for the trophy day. Lowland League champions the year before. Will they be League 1 champions next season as well? Okay, it's time to leave Kelty behind. You don't want me to talk about them too much. I've been here so many times. There's a little lad over there making a hell of a lot of racket for the noise of this video. But yes, K is done. Let's head on down to L. Albion Rovers, Blantyre Victoria, Celtic, Drumchapel Amateurs, East Kilbride Thistle, Falkirk, Glenrothes, Hill of Beath, Inverkeithing, Hillfield Swifts, Jeanfield Swifts, Kelty Hearts, Livingston. I've lived in this country and I've covered so many teams now up and down the land. I find it amazing when I come places, or I revisit places, should I say, especially the SPFL clubs, that I've like barely like even been to. I've been to this one before, once from the outside when I was doing a Livingston video. Original and sort of older viewers of the channel will remember when I was on a quest during COVID when I couldn't see any games, just to visit every single club in the 42 of the SPFL. And yeah, I did a full Livingston related video, so you can search that. You go back on the video or go back on the channel and find it. Look, here's the home of Livy, who used to be called Ferranti Thistle at first, I want to say, and then Meadowbank Thistle. They were an Edinburgh team, but they've moved since to Livingston, changed their name. But yeah, they were a works team for Ferranti with a firm called Thistle, and that's why there's a thistle on the badge. They're not called Livingston Thistle or anything like that. They're just called Livingston FC, of course, but the thistle on the badge is to commemorate the old team that they once were. And what I do kind of enjoy about Livy is that you can see in a little bit, of course, from from just here on this hill. So I think during COVID people were coming up here and like having a little watch of the game, but there's parts of the pitch you obviously like can't see or whatever. But yeah, look, we've done a good few amount of grounds today, and I don't think we've got in any properly like I'd like to. Obviously we got on the eye one, that was more just like a pitch, wasn't it? But yeah, it's been a strange old day of ground hopping this. I wish we could have met a few more people. I got inside a couple more, but that is just what happens on these days sometimes. I love the randomness of turning up to places, you guys know that. So yeah, hopefully tomorrow, if we do this, I'll have a better day, I'm not sure. But yeah, as ever, from F to L, where you live, what would it be? I asked everybody in the A to E one where they would be going for where they live. What would you do for F to L? I got some good answers. There was a few from like the Midlands, I think, and as well around the UK, of people where they'd say they'd go for the A to E. So yeah, let me know where you'd go from F to L. I'm gonna have to crack on from M tomorrow and see where it takes me. But yeah, if you could remember to hit that like button, if you could subscribe, that would be amazing as well. Recently hit 100k, so a huge thank you for all the support as per usual. Talking of support, channel members, a huge thank you to you guys as well. Really appreciate everything you do for me and the people that like the videos and the people who just watch once or twice here and there. I really appreciate the support. It means the world. I'll leave some videos on screen. Please do click on one to carry on watching. Thank you very much, and I'll see you in the next one.